She walked in as if she owned the quiet morning. The receptionist barely looked up. 10 minutes later, the building's leadership would be learning a lesson they hadn't expected. Catherine Voss was 38, raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and the founder of a tech startup that had just secured its third round of funding. She had no bodyguards, no assistants hovering behind her, just Catherine in a tailored gray pantsuit, simple pearl studs, and her dark hair pulled into a low braid. She carried a leather portfolio and a quiet authority that didn't demand attention, it commanded it. She entered the corporate office of Greenstone Properties at 8:45 a.m., just after the elevators opened. The lobby smelled faintly of polished wood and bitter coffee. A young woman with a headset sat behind a sleek glass desk, scrolling on her computer. She looked up briefly, then back down. Catherine approached. "Good morning," she said calmly. "I'm here to speak with someone about the contract transition for the Riverside project." The receptionist's fingers paused on the keyboard. You'll need an appointment for that. Mr. Harlan usually sees people at 10. I called yesterday. He confirmed he'd be available this morning. May I wait in his office?" The woman hesitated. The office isn't open yet. You can, sit in the lobby." Catherine nodded. She took the chair nearest the elevator bank, set her portfolio on her lap, and opened it just enough to look occupied. 10 minutes passed. 15. The lobby filled with staff and clients, all greeted with smiles, all moved into offices, all treated with a warmth she hadn't received. Finally, Catherine rose, her patience thin but her composure unshaken. She walked past the desk, straight into the hallway. "Excuse me," she said to a man hurrying down the corridor. "I'm here to see Mr. Harlan, or anyone available for the project files." Recognition flickered in his eyes. Catherine Voss from, "Oh, right, let me see if he's available." While he checked, Catherine stood perfectly still, calm, calculating. She wasn't here to argue, she wasn't here to yell, she was here to set a standard. Minutes later, a tall man in a dark suit, the regional director, appeared. His posture stiffened when he saw her. "Miss Voss, may we step into my office?" She shook her head. "No need, I'd prefer to do this here." He nodded once, sharp. "Staff, conference room, now." The employees, mid-level managers, assistants, a few administrative staff, looked confused, even panicked. They shuffled toward the conference room, whispers filling the hall. Catherine watched quietly, phone in hand, ready. "Effective immediately," she said when they were seated, "Danielle Kim, Peter Linton, and Randall Graves are no longer with Greenstone Properties. Your access is revoked. HR will send termination letters." The room froze. Danielle blinked. Peter slumped. Randall looked like he might faint. No one laughed. No one whispered jokes. Silence, thick as morning fog. Catherine's voice was calm, almost soft. "This isn't about you. It's about behavior. It's about how you treat people you don't recognize, people you assume aren't important. Every day you decide whether to make someone feel invisible or worthy. And you failed that standard." The director stood nearby, arms folded, phone at the ready. He watched as she continued. "The rest of you will remain but under strict retraining and oversight. I want follow-up reports by Friday." Then she walked out. No dramatics, no final flourish, just a simple, unwavering command of reality. In the lobby, a young assistant holding a clipboard hesitated. Catherine turned toward her. "And you?" I was just doing my job," the girl said, voice trembling. "Yes," Catherine replied, nodding. "Keep doing it. But make it matter. Not for me, for the people who walk in and expect basic respect." Later, Catherine was outside, leaning against her car. Quiet. The director arrived, clipboard in hand. "Handled," he said. "Handled," she echoed, eyes scanning the horizon. "But this isn't the end." Inside, the office was tense. Survivors of the morning's reckoning filed back into the conference room, realizing that behavior, not title or tenure, had been what mattered. The young assistant, who hadn't flinched, who hadn't looked away, was already being considered for a mentorship program. Someone who had passed the quiet test without even knowing it. By the afternoon, Catherine was back at her own office, leading a meeting with interns. "Remember this," she said, folding her hands. "Respect is not a credential. It's not a uniform. It's how you treat those who aren't expected to impress you. Learn that, and you'll never be overlooked. Miss that, and no number of degrees or titles will protect you." And somewhere in the city, the lesson had already begun to ripple. Quiet, firm, and unforgettable.